Banquet for Fools is such a surprise, didn't even know about it until someone mentioned it in the comment section. I apologize as I can't find the exact comment to thank the person in this video, but they know who they are. This is going to be just a short early review after playing the game for about 15 hours, so my opinion is subject to change, you goated bastards. I'm simply in a rush to finish games, do guides, switch to other games. Busy month. So let's get started. First I have to commend it for its great art style. Game has a distinctive look with consistent character and world details with unique enemies. Everything seems like it's part of a senseful whole. The thing that impresses me the most are detailed locations. Every location that I've been to so far is fantastic. Outside areas are full of interactable small details like entrances to dungeons, hidden paths, hidden chests, and indoor areas are genuinely interesting to explore as there is always that mystery of what kind of an enemy is waiting behind the next corner. World loves to throw a challenging curveball with a new enemy type or simply a more dangerous group of known enemies. What is interesting about the world checks is that aside from the hidden chests there are hidden enemies, so if the knowledge check is passed, then hidden nests are discovered where enemies jump from. This is a nice role-playing addition that connects the player with the world even more. So what is our purpose in such a world? Honestly, I haven't progressed the main quest at all. Game gives general direction as to where to go and that's it. No hand holding. Just a brief information about the situation in the world, which is dire. We are in the middle of the war and the whole world is on the brink of getting drowned by the undead forces led by gravekeepers that only a few chanters are holding at bay. Our faction has lost contact with some settlements and we have been picked to check it out. More information about the lore of the world is found by simply talking to people. It's a well done system because there's not too much talking to become overwhelming, and it's connected to the world's progression in a way that we find out stuff through meeting new meaningful characters that in a few words describe what is going on. Also, the quests we are sent on are connected to the world. For example, there are shrines to a certain god in every region. By interacting with the statue, we are given a quest that pertains to that god and that region. It can be as simple as clear the goblins that have taken over the once useful farm because the owners left after they didn't get what they wanted from the farm. Or it can be something like investigating a storekeep who might be selling drugs to the workers in the fields. So quests are not generic, but instead have a backstory that connects the player to the world, region and the quest giver. Simple and effective writing. I love the sense of adventure and progression in Banquet for Fools. Game gives some basic explanations of the system in place and then you're on your own to figure things out. And there's a lot to figure out. So by playing the game we uncover many new mechanics and ways to deal with the problems. For example, how to deal with ghosts as they produce heavy debuff. Or how to get to areas that can be accessed but can't be reached for some reason. It has that Souls-like lack of hand holding. There isn't even a journal. Instead, we write our own notes and it works because that means we are even more invested into what's being said, which in turn connects us more to the characters and the world. By writing notes we can follow quests and tasks, and by finishing those permanent attribute upgrades are unlocked, so it's a highly rewarding system in the end to participate in. Sure, some might say that journal would speed things up and that it would make sense to have one, and I agree. But it would also lead to skipping a lot of important conversations. There's not that many conversations and almost everything NPCs say has meaning. Journal wouldn't hurt, though I like the note system too. Now we get to combat. It's something I've never experienced before in this way. Tactical, real-time with pause, beat 'em up. And it's brilliant. Deep combat system that can work with light and heavy micromanagement depends on the party build and how you want to play the game. What is impressive to me is the amount of things done in between actions. It might not seem like much, but what is going on is positioning, dodging and blocking before the action bar fills up again. And it all matters a lot. Use of dodge, block and movement is what is going to make fights a lot easier versus making them a lot tougher. Devil is in the details here. Then we go into the skill system that enables many different moves. We can charge the enemy, pin them, use rally to deal massive damage, kick, revive, form up, and some of these moves can be chained with the others. For example, kick can be used with a pin to make two party members work together to deal additional damage. There's quite a few combinations like that. All of these things make combat tactical because there's quite a few things to pay attention to at all times. Enemy groups can be quite challenging, but with proper movement and use of skills, their danger level diminishes significantly. This is why I say that micromanagement plays a huge factor. It's far more than just waiting for your turn to come. There are small things done all the time. This all ties nicely into the game's difficulty progression and gameplay loop. Basically, the more you pay attention to the small things and the better you can deal with combat situations, less resting is needed and less resources are spent. Less time spent as well that can be otherwise spent with story, quest and economic progression, which in turn gives us permanent stat boosts through completing quests, better equipment faster, and faster experience gain due to less deaths during combat, because downed guards don't get experience. This is the type of difficulty more games should focus on, and not just arbitrarily offering difficulty modes with different parameters, which usually means they have no clue on how to make a good difficulty progression in the game itself. Another thing that ties into the difficulty progression is giving the player an option to stun or kill enemies. Stunned enemies get back up after about 24 hours, so if we want more experience, albeit at a reduced rate, more crafting materials, but slower progression overall due to constant fights, then stunning is the way to go. Problem is that this also means more resources and time is spent that way in order to sustain the constant fighting. Quite a nice system that can be utilized in a couple of ways to our benefit. Another great thing about the game is the character leveling system. Each level up there are 3 skills that receive stat boosts based on the percentage used. So the 3 highest used skills get the boost. Other skills only get +1. If the skill is at a low level, meaning below 60, stat boost is far greater than usual in order to allow players to customize guards faster the way we want them to be. Or we can choose only 3 skills to level constantly, which is also a viable option. There's more than a few playstyles to mix and match, as there are options to play songs while fighting and casting, use bunch of different weapon types from swords, poles, bows to something quite different like alchemist style through elixir throws, option to tame enemies during the fight to fight for you, 3 spell schools to cast spells from, connection to gods through intercession skill which allows upgrading equipment through the blessings of the gods. So skills offer a variety of interesting playstyles. Before this early review summary, I have to mention 2 more things. One is fantastic music that creates atmosphere but is never in your face. Dynamic changes during fights of course, and it all adds to the game in a subtle way. Another thing is the only negative so far that I found, and it's the inventory. Not the system itself, where bag weight affects movement speed and action speed, as I find that it makes a lot of sense. But the issue is that there is no sorting by type, time of acquisition or similar auto-sorting options. Makes arranging the inventory and moving things from character to character quite a chore. Simply adding sorting options would solve this problem. So what do I think about the game overall? So far it's a brilliant game that might enter Game of the Year candidacy at the end of the year. The way the gameplay loop works, difficulty progression, sense of reward, art style, highly detailed world, interesting lore speaks volumes of the incredible effort of these 2 developers. Games like these are why I love gaming. I'll continue playing it and do guides because I really want to play it and because I want to see how the story unfolds, how the whole world looks like, what type of adventure awaits in every region, and what kind of challenges await. Full review is going to be on Patreon and Subscribestar after the game has been beat. Thanks for watching.